to watch. Goodness gracious. I saw a clip of this, and that's what led me here. Pretty much they interviewed like a bunch of kids, asking them about what they felt about Trump and Harris. And apparently some of the things that came out their mouth, I'm like, yikes. So we're going to go ahead and watch. It's about like 10 minutes or so, and we're going to run through it and see my thoughts on this because, child, I like my sweater. I wore it before. It's Jesus Loves You sweater. I literally love, I actually need to buy more of the clothing. What is this? Oh, it's my curly piece. Let me stop playing. I actually need to buy more of their clothing. Their stuff is like such good quality. Like it feels so soft and it's cheap. So y'all check them out. And it's not sponsored. But yeah, they can sponsor me if they want to. You know what I'm saying?
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear the name Kamala Harris?
Liar.
Ooh.
What's the first word that pops into your head when you hear Donald Trump?
Pure evil.
Pure evil.
Which one do you think is more selfish?
Like selfish? Probably her.
Kamala Harris?
Yeah, because girls are a little bit dramatic sometimes.
Girl, speak for yourself.
And
I
do you
ain't
think
dramatic.
that people in the United States
No, I'm
are
just
ready
kidding.
to have another 4 years of Donald Trump if he's reelected?
No.
Why not?
Because, like, I feel like all he does is, like, complain and, like, yell.
Dang.
The researchers found that opinions of the candidates from these 10 and 11-year-olds spanned a spectrum as wide as America.
Donald Trump, he's given his life and his heart. She even shook hands with Mr. Trump to greet him before the started the debate, which is pretty kind of when you're going against your opponent.
I like how that young
The
kid
study
is so
was
well
designed
spoken.
by psychologist Ashley Landrum and political scientist Shanto Iyengar. Landrum conducted all the interviews and showed the students pictures of the candidates and asked them questions like,
Which one of these two do you think is more honest?
Which one of these two do you think would keep us safer if they were elected?
Landrum also showed them an emoji chart and a feelings chart and asked them
Dang.
questions like this.
I'm going to ask you how much you like each of these two candidates.
The questions were phrased to promote more open-ended conversations.
I live in an apartment. I want to get a house, but it's hard.
One thing that the kids talked a lot about, former President Trump's legal issues.
How much do you like Donald Trump using that scale?
Probably, Donald Trump probably hates me for doing this, so,
You really don't like Donald Trump?
I mean, come on, he went to, like, jail, I mean...
To be clear, while Trump was booked and released from jail, he didn't spend time behind bars. 32% of all students brought up the former president's legal issues. In general,
Dang.
kids who said they'd support Donald Trump did not see his legal problems as a disqualifier.
Hi, how are you doing today?
This was in May before Trump's
I do
conviction.
want to point out what these kids say in this video is going to be very telling, because I do think with kids, they're taught, like their environment, like a lot of things that come out of their mouth, like it's probably already being said in the homes, like 9 times out of 10, obviously. So like a lot of these things that the kids are going to be saying is going to be very telling, less about the kids, but more so the household and the parents. It's like, what are you saying around the kids? And also, honestly, you can't, actually, I'm not going to say, I was about to say you can't put all the blame on the parents because it's also media, but also as a parent, you have to make sure how to restrict certain media from your kids as well. So yeah, this is very telling as it is, because it's like some of these things, like, how do you even know? Like, how do you know?
Should
But
he
certain
be
things you
president
can't
again
escape.
still?
Yeah, like we can say, for example, JFK. He cheated on his wife, but, like, people still loved him. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, both slave owners. Being a slave owner is really bad. It's a really bad thing. But they still had 2 terms. So I think even though Trump has done bad stuff, he still deserves to run for president.
And
He's so
now,
well spoken.
Which one of these two candidates do you think is more likely to do bad things?
Convicted felon against a liar.
Wait. Hold on. This kid really said a convicted felon against a liar. This goes back to what I was saying before. Like, this stuff is taught. These things are taught. And not even only taught, but the way that media just infiltrates our brain. Like when you're calling VP Harris a liar and saying Donald Trump is a convicted felon every 1 to 2 business days, like on the news, kids are picking that up. Like not only the parents, but it's like the kids are picking up this media stuff. Like, child.
Let's say Trump because he's a convicted felon.
Do you think it's okay for somebody who is a convicted felon to become president of the United States?
Yes.
Many children were also very aware of the first assassination attempt on former President Trump.
What?
And which one do you think is tougher? Donald Trump?
Because he did survive a gunshot.
And does anything else make him tougher, do you think? Or was it mostly his reaction to that?
He's also pretty brave. I mean, if I was president and I was talking in front of a lot of people, I would be really scared.
And why would something like that happen?
There's like a lot of cruel people in the world and
Yeah.
stuff. And like, whenever something like bad happens to them, they'll want to take it out on somebody else that they don't like.
Yeah. And how does that make you feel?
Kind of like nervous, because like, and you never know, one day it could be you.
For Vice President Harris,
I don't know
students
how
from
I
both
feel about
schools had a
this
lot.
because like these kids are really well spoken, by the way, but I don't know how I feel about this because it's like, what are we putting our kids in a position in this country? Like, what position are we putting them in? Like, it's good that some of them are informed, but it's also like off-putting in a sense because I don't want them to have to think about stuff like this. Like, I don't want this to be normalized.
Say about her race and gender.
So do you think it matters more to voters that she's a woman or that she's a person of color?
I don't really like care about like what color she is. I just care about like the personality and like what she wants like to do.
Do you think people would be bothered at all by the fact that Kamala Harris is, half black and half
No. 'Cause,
Indian American?
no, because Barack Obama was elected twice, 2 terms, served all 8 years.
It'd be good for us to have a black woman as president for the first time in history.
Yeah.
But my vote's kind of still on Trump.
86% of all students our researcher talked to thought America was ready for a woman president of color.
And do you think people in the U.S. are ready for a woman president?
Yeah, because there hasn't been a woman president
Because there
yet.
hasn't been one yet.
The fact that she's a woman and she's black, that could help kids who are like her or are different feel a lot more accepted.
Still, some students had different views about gender.
I just feel like boys would probably be better as president, but she's pretty and stuff, but I just don't think a woman would be right for a president.
Yeah, so why do you think women wouldn't be right for a president?
Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? Like, where are these kids? Like, these kids are getting this mindset from. This is so sad. This is actually so sad. The fact that I don't know how I feel about them interviewing these 10, 11-year-olds. Like, it puts things in perspective.
In your view?
I think because only boys have been president before, and that they would be more stronger.
Overall, the biggest finding, the children in the study were polarized, with what researchers called more extreme responses from the blue state kids than the red state kids.
Donald Trump, he did bad things. He's like Hitler.
He only wanted to be president so that he can just control everybody.
Trump is supporting January 6th now. I remember that January 6th was a bunch of Republicans believing Trump.
Wait,
I feel
wasn't
like
he,
they thought
6?
Trump was a god. People got arrested. I think one officer died afterwards. That was a big day.
The study found that these Democrat-leaning kids were about 9 times more likely to express negative emotions about Donald Trump than Republican-leaning kids were about Kamala Harris.
Wow.
Why might that be? Psychologist Ashley Landrum has some ideas.
Starts in the home.
So Donald Trump is a very polarizing figure, and it's very possible that the kids are reacting to their parents reacting to
Literally.
Donald Trump being a very different
That's
kind
what
of...
I said. Like, some of the things that are coming out these kids' mouths, like, it says a lot about the household. It says a lot about the household, because why are some of these kids saying certain things like, child.
Political figure.
I was once like that too when I was
so
in fourth grade.
do the red state kids hold as strong of attitudes? Well, not when we're talking about Kamala Harris. In part, that could be because they don't know that much about her.
Landrum was
true.
also curious about how kids saw their peers in the political divide.
So, do you think that the kids that live in those two houses would be friends with each other?
They can.
can?
There's no law breaking that.
It doesn't matter if you are different by skin color, or it doesn't matter if you are different by people. You can still be friends.
The study found that Republican-leaning kids were more open to visiting a Democrat-supporting household. The Democrat-leaning kids were about 5 times more likely to say they would not want to go to a pro-Trump house.
Would they be okay with you
That's
going over to
interesting.
somebody's house who is really supportive of President Trump?
No,
No? And why not?
because they know that he's not like black people, so they will not be happy to see me.
Would your family let you go over to somebody's house
Bro,
who's
that
really
should not be in
supportive
a
of
kid's
Donald
head.
Trump?
No.
No, they wouldn't?
No,
And why not?
because like my mom and dad don't like Donald Trump at all. Not a single bit.
Would you be okay going over to somebody's house whose family really likes Kamala Harris?
I think it'd be fine. It's just about the personality of the people.
Yeah.
Would your family be okay if you went over to somebody's house who really liked Donald Trump?
If I want to be real over here, so if I just went over there, I imagine be a good old argument or a fight. Maybe like a food fight or something.
You Lexi.
Let's not forget, this is a study about 10 and 11-year-olds. And one issue they all had strong feelings on was Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala Harris.
Are you a fan of Taylor Swift?
Ew.
No? So Taylor Swift said who she wanted to vote for.
Kids
Do you
are
think
so
that
cute.
her vote is going to influence the election?
Yes.
Yeah? Why do you think that?
The Swifties will follow her lead.
Do you think that her endorsement would impact the election?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Why do you think that she would have such a big impact on the election?
Because she's like very, very popular.
Yeah.
Ask half of the school, they'll tell you.
Yeah, but are they old enough to vote? Me personally, I think Taylor Swift's endorsement can impact it, depending on if you're thinking, does it impact her election, her campaign in a good way or a negative way. I don't think it's going to impact, or I don't think it has impacted VP Harris's campaign in a way where people are just like, oh, yay, VP Harris automatically. Yeah, I don't think it has, to be honest, especially because when you look at her fan base, a lot of her fan base is younger people. She does have a variety of, a lot of older Gen Zs do support her and follow her and so forth, but I did see that she lost supporters as well, which was like, whoa there. But honestly, I think we're at the point where like celebrity endorsements don't mean that much. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of social media or just generally speaking, but celebrity endorsements don't mean that much, especially like when we saw Oprah endorse VP Harris. It's like, you got to be really out of touch with reality if you think that getting a billionaire to endorse you is going to get the average American out to like, yay, let me go support you. Like, I just think that, yeah, I just think times are different. Times are different. Some people's voices or platforms, celebrities I'm speaking about, they just don't hold that much weight as much as they used to. Going back to this video, it's actually crazy to see like how, I don't even want to say brainwashed, but you're supposed to train up a child and who they should be. And just seeing how some of them speak about certain situations and certain topics, it's like their parents really have to be careful what they say around their kids. And also media being played in their households as well. Media has to be careful. I wouldn't even say media has to be careful. I just think parents have to do a better job restricting certain things from a child, because I don't think I don't know what that was. I just don't think certain things kids should be knowing right now. Like, especially at 10 and 11. Like, I just don't want them to have the thoughts of politics and the thoughts of disarray in their head. And there's a level of innocence in a child that they should keep, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Follow me on my social media. I love y'all all. God bless y'all. This is Uruak, connecting people with policy. Toodles.